is a lot of performers don't know how good they can be. I found that in my life as well. Never knew how good I could be, whether I was batting at university level or whether I was presenting international cricket. Never knew how good I could be. Always needed somebody to tell me, listen, you can do that, why don't you try it? And then you try that and say, you know what, shit, I'm good, man. Why didn't I do it all these days? Not all performers know how good they can be, and the job of a leader is to point out to people. In fact, just 2 days ago, I was sitting and having a meal in Johannesburg, and Amir Sohail, the Pakistan batsman, joined us, and he was telling us a story about Inzamam al-Haq. He said, at the World Cup of 1992, Inzamam had failed 7 matches in a row. And on the morning of the game against New Zealand, which they actually ended up winning, Inzamam went up to Imran and said, I don't want to play. Because I've not scored runs, my confidence is low, I don't want to play. And Imran said, no, you're playing. I told you at the start of the tournament you're going to play every single match. Because I know you can play. You may not know it, but I know you can. And of course you're playing. He said, you're playing. And I was told that in teams of that era, if Imran said, you're playing, the answer was, okay. Imran said, you sneezed, you sneezed. So, and he played and turned out to be the match winner. Captains can sometimes do that to people because performers don't know how good they can be. Can the leader be approachable? Or the leader is such a big star that leader is never approachable? If Tendulkar is a captain, can a Raina approach him? Or is he thinking, is he going and say, knock on the door, what will I talk to him? If you have a big star as a leader, sometimes the younger people can't approach you. If someone comes in as a CEO with a fantastic resume, having turned HSBC around in several countries and come there, the junior executive is going to go and big man, how can I ask him? Is the leader approachable? The best thing leaders do at such times is actually go down themselves and tell the young people around saying, look, I want to come and meet you. And that breaks the ice sometimes. Can you incorporate qualities of nurturing and mentoring besides delivering? Because in HSBC, in banking, as in cricket, the captain has to perform alongside the players who he's got to motivate to perform. Cricket's the only sport where the captain plays alongside his teammates. In most other sports, the captain is actually not playing. Whether it's football or rugby or tennis, the captain's not playing. So can you nurture, can you have abilities of nurturing and mentoring? Which is why I think Imran Khan was the best captain since the Second World War, because he had this ability to nurture people. Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus and Aqib Javed and Inzamam, he was very good at doing that. So I thought I'd just end by playing you a couple of clips about captains. Since I'm talking about Imran, I asked Wasim Akram once what made Imran Khan a good captain, and asked Michael Holding about Clive Lloyd. I mean, you think that Clive Lloyd had the easiest job in the world, right? There's Gordon Bennett and Desmond Haynes going out to bat, then Viv Richards goes at number 3, then there's Richie Richardson, Larry Gomes, and old man Lloyd limped out on his sore knees and scored runs himself. Dujon came out to bat after him when he could have batted in the first 5. And then there was Marshall, there was Holding, there was Garner, and there was Roberts. So all he had to do was throw the ball to one, throw the ball to the other, and go to sleep. One of them said, Captain, I've had too much, throw it to 2 others, go back to sleep. The match is won anyway. So what's the big deal in being a captain of a side like that? Couldn't you captain it? Couldn't you captain the West Indies side of the 80s? If you have talent like that, I thought I could for a long time. It's very interesting what Michael Holding says about him. So I'll play these 2 clips back to back.
The fact that Lloyd being such a great leader, people think of leadership as being a great tactician. That's not just leadership alone. To be a great captain, you have to understand your players. You have to know how to get the best out of your players. You have got to respect your players and earn the respect of the players as well. And Lloyd was all that. He knew every individual was different. He knew the idiosyncrasies of all his players and how to get the best out of them. And we, as a team, as a unit, as a family, we were great. How big was?
How many of us as leaders are willing to understand the idiosyncrasies of every one of our players? How many of us are willing to go down and respect them and earn their respect by doing that? Because if you've got a team of 11 great talents, you've also got a team of 11 great egos who should be massaged from time to time. And that's why, if you can just maintain team climate, often that's a great job as a leader. If you've got a team where everyone knows what to do, all you need to do is create the right atmosphere. And I don't think when Ganguly was captain, he ever went up to Tendulkar and said, please, 20 runs, please, bahut zarurat hai team ko. You think so? I mean, you think Arjuna would have gone up to Murli and said, Murli, please, there are 12 overs, today team desperately needs you on. Yeah? Macha. Team needs no macha. Right? And here's the next one. This is interesting as well.
For Imran, the only thing he liked in a player was, when he was a captain or as a player, that if this guy is giving 100% to the team, if this guy can improve, if this guy can do well for Pakistan for a longer period of time.
What is he giving 100%? That's the first thing captains look for. First thing leaders look for in people. Is my guy giving me 100%? Is my teammate, he or she, giving me 100% every single time? Is he or she capable of playing for a long period of time? I thought it's interesting to see what great sports leaders look for in people. And so those last two clips, which lead me onto the last slide for today, which is great players combine ability with attitude and passion. We talked a little bit about talent earlier on, didn't we? A lot of us on the subcontinent are slaves of talent. And I read a very interesting article recently which talked about differences in culture. On the subcontinent, we tend to pick talent quickly. We tend to pick people who are 18, 19, 17, 20. In other parts of the world, they tend to pick the finished product. 22, 23, 24. So you're not too worried about losing talent at 20. You're more worried about getting the finished product at 22, 23. But the truth is that if you worship talent, then you've got only half the product. Because as you grow in life, a lot of us want to be in the top 5% of our profession, don't we? But everybody in the top 5% has talent. In life, in sport, that's what I've seen. I've been very fortunate to see sport across the years. It's what you do with the talent that counts far more than the talent that you have. It's what you do with the talent. And finally, if you want to be a Schumacher, you want to be a Tendulkar, you want to be a Vaughan or a Murali or an Inzamam. Inzamam may not visibly look like that. It might not visibly look like he's got passion because, everything goes very slowly around him. The wind stops in his house, gently goes around corners and says, Inzamam, zara aage badhu main, and then moves a little further ahead. But make no mistake, I'm sure he's got a great passion for performing. He won't perform for 16 years at that level otherwise. The one thing that separates the Woods, the Jordans, the Schumachers, the Vaughans, the Tendulkars is that passion. It's what the top of the pyramid, that's what people have. A lot of people think that when Tendulkar was born, he's 33 now, come to think of it, kid's grown up. When he was born, this nurse picked him up and gave him to his mother and said, Mrs. Tendulkar, here's 25,000 runs. It's what you do with your talent that matters, and that's why I thought I'd leave that on. In the end, if you want to knock doors open, you knock doors open with your attitude and not with your talent. So I thought I'd leave that slide on for a while. Thanks for listening. Thanks for laughing actually. Sometimes it gets very cold when you don't laugh. So thanks very much for that.